Welcome. For those who don't know, this is Elder Ajabu, your host for Ajabu Speaks. This program is dedicated to stripping the clothes off of well-dressed lies, and there's a bunch of well-dressed lies running around here. This program also serves a dual purpose. It is the political education for the Black Panther movement, to which I'm your professor. Your professor is a Pan-African, and I have to clear this every time we speak, because you got to understand the foundation, the premise from which these lessons are being given. These lessons are being given from a foundation, from a premise of being a Pan-African. It's not based on where you was born, as I was born in the United States of America. No, that does not dictate the platform, the foundation from which I have a worldview. I think in a way that is pro me, that is pro us, that is pro our people, pro our race. And because I do that, I use the land of where I'm from as the foundation, as the basis for my thought. What's in the best interest of Africa and Africa's people? What's in the best interest of Africa and the multitude of resources that are located under the soil of Africa? What is in the best interest of how that can be used for the benefit of Africans, no matter where we are in the world? Not based on where we were born, but based on that we are Africans. And in visiting, visited Virginia this past week, and when I visited there, I got a chance to walk on the ground that Nat Turner walked on. And I want to use that experience as a teaching tool from a Pan-African perspective. And I want to thank, first and foremost, the Honorable Malik Zulu Shabazz, who makes these experiences possible. And the guidance that he gives on how to accomplish certain missions when he's making these missions possible. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Because it means a lot, and it is moving our people in a positive way, to where it's that we can take control of ourselves and remove the control of people that is over us, that's having a detrimental effect on our existence. Thank you. Along with the thanks that I'm giving, I want to thank Khalifa Muhammad, who is the brother that's operating the Nat Turner Museum there in Virginia, and Southampton, Virginia, to be more specific. I want to thank him for the information that he shared and the tour that he gave, that I'm going to go into and connect us to how to look at that and the impact that had then, and how we can use that as a lesson to have impact here now to stop the invasion that Duck is talking about doing in cities here in the United States of America, which he has already done in Washington, D.C. and California. I want to use the Nat Turner experience from a Pan-African view to get an understanding of that. And as if I can continue and finish the people that I want to thank, I want to thank Sister Chuma. Great woman, organizing woman, entrepreneur, revolutionary, who's doing what she's doing there in Norfolk. Sister got it going on, and I just want to thank you for how you handled my person while I was there. I felt very comfortable going strange places with strange people because of the guidance that you yielded. Thank you. And I can't forget Brother EJ, my man. He stood with me 24/7, damn near. Thank you. And in thanking you, now what I want to do is to go into the lessons, and I want to use the lesson of an African parable, because I'm thinking from a Pan-Africanist thought. How and what things have we generated to give us lessons on how we should look at the world? And this parable is about a chief, an African chief, and he gets married. From this marriage, he has a child, a female child. Unfortunately, his wife dies. He remarries, and the woman that he remarries does not like the child that he had from the previous marriage. And so she doesn't treat the child right. She treats the child in a certain kind of way. Well, in the development of her relationship with the chief, they have 3 children, girls. And the present wife treats the biological children, the children that came out of her body, better than the stepchild that came from the wife, the previous wife of the chief. But the grand chief, the top dog, the tribal leader, he noticed the beauty of African people, and he says, I need to honor that. And so I want all the people to bring the prettiest girl to the courthouse, and we're going to uplift her as being the most beautiful girl and make that a part of our history, so that the present wife doesn't like the stepchild, and so she puts the stepchild into ugly clothes while she's dressing her children up, her 3 girls up in pristine attire. And as they're walking down the street, because she don't like the stepchild, but as they're walking down the street and the people noticing the children, she says, oh, and they say, oh, them children look good, but it's the one in the raggedy dress that looks the best. Why they got her dressed like that? And the mama don't like the stepchild getting the accolades, and so she goes and she takes the child and takes the ugly clothes off the child and puts the child in overbearing child, big clothes to where that you can barely see. Oversized clothes is the word I'm looking for. And as they continue to walk down the street, the people say the same thing. Dad, them are some nice looking children, but the best looking of the children is the one in those oversized clothes. Why they got her in oversized clothes? This is infuriating the mother, stepmother. And so then when she says, okay, I'll go in here and I'll take everything off that child. I'll make her walk the street butt naked. And as they're walking the street butt naked, and she's butt naked, the people observe the family and they say, hey, that's a nice looking family. But the one that is the nicer of the females, of the girls, is the one that doesn't have on any clothes. Why is that woman walking around there like that? Why does she not have on any clothes? And at that point, they're in the courtyard, and the ultimate chief is looking for the best looking, and his attention goes to that family, and he sees that girl without clothes on, and he says, daggone, that's a pretty girl. She's going to be the one that I honor as being the most beautiful child, to be the standard of beauty, the ultimate standard of beauty of African people. And so then he questioned, he says, and because she don't have any clothes, he told his seamstress and tailors to get her the finest of clothing and to make her something to put on her body, to do her hair, to do her fingernails, to do her toenails, and to enhance that beauty that the Lord has given her. And the moral of that story is, no matter what you do to try to hide being an African, you can't cover it up. That beauty is going to come through. I want to apply that to the Nat Turner Rebellion. And I tie that to the Nat Turner Rebellion because at that time, our people were enslaved. They was raping the women. They was beating the men and the women and the children. They was working us from can't see in the morning to can't see at night. They was killing you if you didn't work, from can't see in the morning to can't see in the night. And if you didn't work hard enough or make enough production, they beat you and tell you need to work harder and bring me stuff. It was atrocious. And so Nat Turner rebelled. And actually, if you really want to go to at the beginning, you got to look at David Walker's appeal. David Walker appealed to the enslaved brothers, to our ancestors. Why y'all put up with that, man? Why y'all trying to be an American and America treating you like that? You should stop that. You should rebel against that. And because of that, the people in Georgia tried to arrest him. Said he can't be spreading that kind of thinking. That's Pan-African stuff. That's stuff that makes one think what's in your benefit, not what's in the benefit of the people that enslaved you, where you were born. And at that point, taken from. But Nat Turner was born here. But he didn't think like the people that had taken him from Africa and brought his parents to America. He didn't think like that. He was a Pan-African. He said, look, man, that ain't the way to be thinking. That we shouldn't support that. And David Walker put it into words. He made an appeal. Black man, African, why are you putting up with that? That was in 1929. Nat heard it and probably read it because he could read. He taught himself how to read, or he was taught how to read. It might have been revealed. It might have been given to someone to give to him. But the end analysis is he could read and comprehend. And so, however he done it, he was exposed to David Walker's appeal, and when he was exposed to it, he said, David is making sense. I'm a thing like that Pan-African. And just like he's making the appeal of why we putting up with the way that these white folks is treating us, I'm going to do something about it. And he did. When he got through with his entourage, there was 55 slave, I hate to call them master slave owners, dead. Men, women, children. He said all of them had benefited from our enslavement. And then but now, those white folks that didn't have slaves, he didn't kill them. But those that did, he killed every one of them down to the child, because he said that type of thinking had to be snuffed out. And if you wasn't thinking that way, then we're going to leave you alone. But if you thinking that way, boy, you through. We ain't going to have it. We done heard David Walker's appeal. And we're going to act like we heard it and let you know that you can't continue to do that to us. We ain't having it. And because he did, it shocked the consciousness of white people. It's hard to believe. This is the reason why I say that if we can wage the psychological war, and I'm hoping something catastrophic don't have to happen in order for humanity to wake up and see that the human relations that white folks is having with the rest of the world is not the way to have human relations. And I'm hoping that something doesn't have to happen catastrophic that causes that to happen, as it did with Nat Turner. David Walker shook his consciousness, woke him up. He said, okay, I'm woke. I'm getting ready to take out a bunch of these white folks that are enslaving black people, and to send the message that type of behavior will no longer be tolerated. We're allergic to that. We're not going to have that. And because he carried it out, and had the impact of shaking the consciousness of white folks, who said, boy, we can't continue to treat Africans like that. Look at what it caused. We don't want to treat people in the way that we are treating people, that causes them to just run through households who's treating them like that and start killing them. We don't want that. And so let's talk about abolishing slavery. And they went about it and did. On paper. And it don't express itself that way as it did then, but we're still enslaved. And the evidence of that is when you talk about Duck. You know, I call him Duck. Look like a duck, walk like a duck, always quacking like a duck. I'm talking about Donald Duck, the president of the United States of America. He is showing that enslavement that Nat Turner rebelled against still exists today, and he's showing that by introducing troops into Washington, D.C. And he's using the auspices, let me not use that word. He's using the excuse of introducing the troops to say that crime is off the chain in Washington, D.C. And it looks like he done that because his buddy Elon Musk, somebody that worked for him, messed around and got beat up in the streets out there. And he said, "Oh, crime is bad. You can't do that to my people. You can't do that to Elon's employee. Look, I'll bring the troops in. But and I'll bring the troops in under the auspices, under the excuse of crime. But in essence, what I'm doing, African, I'm waging war on you. I'm coming for you." And because he is doing that, it's making it more obvious, as it was in Nat Turner's time, that there is an actual war that's being waged on our person, because soldiers ain't for fighting crime. Soldiers are for fighting wars. And so it's clear, don't go by what he quacking, because he ain't facking. He ain't telling the truth. He just quacking. And that quack is lacking truth. Don't go with that. Look at how he is moving. Look at what he is doing. He is introducing troops. Troops are for war. And if he's going to wage war, we should prepare for war. And he can do something as them crackers did in Nat Turner's time, and I'm calling the cracker those that were enslaving us. Now, if you wasn't doing that, don't step up and answer to something you wouldn't do. But if you was, then I'm talking to you. Yeah, them crackers. When they was treating us the way that they was treating us during Nat Turner's time, is it going to have to happen again so that the consciousness of white America is shaken to where it's that they understand that y'all can't keep treating us like y'all treating us, no matter where we in the United States, no matter where we in Burkina Faso, no matter whether we're in Mali, or Niger, or this whole African continent. You cannot keep treating us like you treating us. We gonna stop it. And Nat Turner has given us the way to stop it. Is that what you're trying to turn loose? He got 55 there, and he had 18 soldiers, and in his core group. He got 55. There's 5 million, 50 million of us here. If we get turned loose like that, do you realize the casualties? And there'll be casualties on both sides. But our numbers outrank your military and your soldiers. We 50 million strong. You can't whip us. We won't let it happen. So it's best to get along. So y'all need to get that old duck and then shoot Macron and them over there in Europe too. Tell them to stop it, especially Duck. Because he's giving them the example and he's making everybody that think like that bolder. Now get at him. And you see what happened with Rodney Hinton. He had the courage to stop it. Was that started an epidemic? Folks have seen that when you do things like that, folks notice and they start straightening up the same way with ozone. Arthur Wallace, he took out a cop. He dropped the cop. And I'm telling you, you're going to create, and not only going to create, you're creating, and I'm talking to you, Doug, you're creating more of that mentality by invading Washington, D.C. And let me say this about my sister, then let me get out of here. And I'm talking about the mayor, Muriel Bowser. Sis, don't cooperate with that. Don't be a traitor to your race and the totality of humanity. Federal troops invading Washington, D.C. It's not in the best of the interest, the people, nor the city in which you are the mayor. It's not good. And you know it's not good. So don't support what's not good because it's politically beneficial. And I don't know the deal. Obviously, there's been a deal because you know better. Your mama ain't taught you like that. And if she did rebel, I'd like to talk to your mama and see if she taught you like that. Don't think or use your worldview to be based on where you were born. That's what you're doing right now. And it's detrimental to you, not only yourself, but your people. It makes you look ugly. And we're looking for you to be like the sister that was honored in the fable. Be one of our best looking ones. It's time for us to come together, stand together, organize, mobilize, so that we realize our rightful place in the world order of things. You've been listening to the Unbossed, and Unafraid of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. If you are ready to get organized, then you should call this number 1-844-848-6489. I said, if you are ready to get organized, and you should, because the time to get ready for a fight is before the fight. Now, when the fight comes, and the fight is coming, he's introducing troops. He says he's going to Chicago next. Then from Chicago, he might go to New York. The governor of Louisiana done invited him in. A fight's coming. The time to get ready for a fight is before the fight. If you're ready to get ready, so that we'll be ready, call 1-844-848-6489. Leave your name and your contact information, and we'll get back to you. You've been listening to your professor, the elder. And we send greetings to our brothers in the Sahel who have taken over the land and in the spirit of that turn. My brother here, King Traore, the Honorable Goita, President Goita, and President Chiani, heroes. We stand with you, unbossed, and unafraid of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing